Hello and welcome to Comfort Legacies with Faye Michelle. And today we have our beautiful guests, Yassin Hall and Stephine. And Yassin is going to be sharing her book with us. So I'll just jump right to it. Yassin, introduce yourself and then we'll let Stephine introduce himself.
Yay! Hi everyone, I am Yassin Hall. I am the CEO and founder of BossClassLLC.com. I'm also a mental health advocate for change and an award-winning best-selling author. I penned my journey Untold, Twisted Love, my mother struggled with mental illness, and I wrote my therapeutic journey in Beyond the Love Curse, Own Your Power. It is a pleasure to be here today. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. And go ahead on and jump right on in there, Stephine.
Well, hi, my name is Stephine. I am a marketer and a brand strategist. And as you can see here, I'm a PR specialist here with Yassin Hall. I help women quit their jobs and work for themselves. I help you really effectively have a brand and a brand strategy that makes sense. And I use marketing that empowers you to get your message out.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Women are going to love this. Now, Miss Yassin, can you tell us how your journey began?
Well, my journey began being a daughter of a violent, paranoid, schizophrenic mother who tried to take my young life at the age of 12.
When you started to decide you wanted to write books, or when did that start?
I didn't think my story had any positive realm whatsoever. In my world, it was very dark and very toxic. I decided to pen my journey after I went to court. My family members were actually suing me for property that my grandmother had left for me after she passed away. And in that court, they played videos of her on her deathbed. And it was a very somber, sad time. And I wanted to leave the courthouse, but because I was a major part of the case, I was not allowed to leave the courthouse. So the judge said, we're going to give you a legal pad and you can write down how you're feeling on the pad. So in the 7 days of court, I penned my journey Untold and talked about my story.
That's an amazing. I have so many authors that would women that would love to get with you and talk about their journeys like that, because I know that you do self-help.
Yes.
And helping women.
Yes.
Okay, that's awesome. So you wrote your first book when?
I wrote my first book. It actually was published on January of 2014. And it's been on Amazon's top-selling list, top 100 list since then.
Oh, wow. Tell me what that felt like.
Oh, wow. So it was unexpected. When you have a story, but you're not sure, you're thinking about, and this was back before self-help. I'm thinking about, will they like it? What do they think of it? Instead of just owning it,
Yes.
But when it hit immediately, like the top one. It wasn't top one. It was number one bestseller on Amazon on the day it released. Wow. And I was just like, whoa. And then the reviews started coming in about the book. And I was just blown away and just humbled at the fact that all these years, I didn't want to talk about mental health. And look how mental health has now changed. I've managed to change the dynamic of people, how they think about mental health, and change laws as it pertains to mental health because of a book and telling my story. And life just changed.
That is awesome. Did you do any type of pre-launching?
For this one, no. The self-help one I did. For Beyond the Love Curse, I did. But for Journey Untold, I kind of went like, hey, y'all, I got a book.
Okay. That, I'm filled with so much emotion and want to ask you so much, because I know you have a club, right? That you help women. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, the club I have is more in person. It's called the Milestones Mom Club. And that club I designed for mothers of autistic children to give them hope. And when it was pre-COVID, we would take the children out and do activities outside so they could make friends and be amongst each other. And what I found with autistic children, if you get a group of them together, they will do the outside activities and not feel social anxiety, because they know that they're with other people who are like them, versus if I just took one of them out on their own and took them to the playground, that's too stimulus for them. But when you take them as a group, they were more functioning and adapting to the environment and playing and having fun more. So that was a group that I started when I first moved to Georgia, and it's about 10 of us who have children that are autistic. Of course, my daughter is the oldest one, but it brings them help. It gives the moms hope looking at my daughter from where she came from. So it gives the moms hope to keep on pushing. And now they've made a collaboration of new friends. Even if we don't have a function right now, they're still friends with each other. They still do play dates. So that is my Milestone Moms Club.
Okay. How old is your daughter?
She's 20 now.
Oh, okay. So do you think you'll do a book on it?
I'll let her pen her own journey because that's her story to tell.
Mm-hmm.
She's shown interest in doing it. I don't think she's vulnerable enough yet to actually put pen to paper and live through. She's still sensitive about her journey. She's still sensitive about some of her journey, and she has to own it on her own.
Okay. I was thinking more of the element of you're getting this group together and supporting the moms.
That's just something that I enjoy doing. It's something that I did with my first son, and that's what helped me to be a better mom. I joined meetup groups with other moms who had autism back in Florida and he was my first one that had autism, and it helped me to cope. So that was just my way of saying thank you to those moms and my way of giving back to moms on a different level.
Okay. So how did you publish your book? Was it self-published or did you go through a traditional literary house?
Both self-published.
Both self-published.
Yes.
Wow. Can you hold up your book? That cover is beautiful.
Thank you. So I have the two of them. We have Journey Untold, which is the first one. And then we have Beyond the Love Curse, Own Your Power in the second one.
Wow. That is so nice. Did you have any prior experience when you started to publish your book?
Oh, no. I just dive right in. In everything in my life, I just dive right in.
Dive right in.
Walk in faith. That's all I did.
Yassin, can I see your books again?
Journey Untold, Twisted Love, My Mother's Struggle with Mental Illness, and Own Your Power, Beyond the Love Curse.
Wow. Please continue. It was wonderful.
Yes, isn't it? I'm going to jump right in on you, Stephen, but I'm letting have the floor. So, and you did both of those books yourself, and who helped you do your cover?
The first one, my photographer for many year friend Kamadi, that picture was actually on the beach. I took this picture on the beach, and there's a friend of mine who had done all of my edits when I did International Vogue and Pageantry magazine covers. I gave her all freedom to creative freedom. Yes. And because she also had a mom that was bipolar, it was a surprise to me when she did the cover. She offered to do the cover for free. And when she came back with the cover, I had goosebumps because in the Virgin Islands, we have 99 steps, which is one of our historical steps. And if you look at the cover, it looks just like our 99 steps.
Oh, wow.
And she did not know that I was from the Virgin Islands. Beautiful. So it was meant to be. And then she said that she did it because this is the darkness, and on the back of it is coming into light.
Oh, that is awesome. I love that. Love that. And what's your explanation for that other pink, beautiful color?
The cover on this is the property. This is the property that I own on St. John. So I'm standing on the beach. Yeah.
I love St. John. The other book, your other book.
Beyond the Love Curse.
Yes. How did you come up with that? That's your
same photographer. Went and did a photo shoot. I told him that I wanted to show my life in joy, that I'm in a joyful place in my life, and I'm carefree and free-spirited, and that I've owned my power and I love myself and own my self-worth.
Wow, that is so awesome. Okay, we're going to just jump right in. Stephen, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do for Yassin.
Okay, so my name is Stephen. For Yassin, I apply all of my digital marketing background and strategy work, I applied to her platforms. So basically, one of the things that I noticed was there are people that need to have their story told. There are people that deserve to have some type of spotlight because they've built businesses, they've developed wealth, but they're kind and they're humble and they want to give back. And Yassin struck me immediately as that type of person, and I was just like, "Hey, I'd like to help you to be able to hone and polish your message." And she was like, "Oh, that's exactly what I need." So basically, we started working together, and we're able to create like a collaboration, I guess, where I'm able to help her to sell her products, to get her message out there, to collaborate for different causes. Mental health being one of the top causes for the next 2 months. Autism being the priority, but mental health overall. And it's been wonderful. I get to listen to her speak, and I get to coach her on, like, hey, bring this up, or we need to highlight this part of your story. And just so we're clear, I won't be long-winded about it at all.
Oh no, go ahead.
But I believe that God created us uniquely different. So as men, I believe God created us to be able to see things from point A to point B, and to be able to see things in black and white. And women, I believe He created women to be able to see things in color. And what I noticed the most in our community, especially as Black people, is I know a lot of women that have ideas that could have changed the world or could have brought their family out of poverty. I grew up with 4 sisters and a wonderful mother. And looking back now at the age that I'm at here, passing at 32 now, but I was able to see, like, oh, these ideas could have transformed our lives. Like it could have got us out of poverty immediately.
Oh, wow.
And now I'm just like, wow, God, give me the opportunity to help these people be able to connect their vision and success and wealth to it. I'm really passionate about women being able to have wealth and be able to have time with their family in their lives, because I've noticed that the family structure is falling apart, and with women needing to be breadwinners, it's like, I'm not in the house, I ain't got time for the kids, but I want you to have time for your kids. I want you to pour into your children so we can develop strong men and women in our futures.
That is so awesome. So well received. And I'm sure there are so many women out there that could use your service and could really benefit, because I know there's a powerful move, especially for African American women, where they're trying to promote, bring more wealth to them. And it's kind of, I guess, like an atonement for the struggles that they have endured. And so I commend you.
Thank you so much.
I really, really do.
I love him. I love him so much. So much. Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
How did you two meet?
On Clubhouse.
Really?
I'll tell you in depth, because Yassin was just tired. She was like,
Really?
"Oh my God, what's going on here?" So basically, Yassin was in a room where she was talking about her product, I believe, the Amazon guide, which is an amazing product. So if I purchase that guide, I can start my own Amazon store in 24 hours.
Yes.
What? So she already did the work.
$49.
For $47, right?
$47.
$47. You can open your own Amazon store in 24 hours. And she already did all the legwork. This is literally just a guide telling you how to do it without having to go through all the research and all the incorrect links. And somebody let me moderate for her. Everybody else had to run. I was able to moderate for her. And I've been on Clubhouse for the last month, on there for like 24 hours a day. This was just another day for me. And I heard Yassin speak, and I was just like, oh, I love what you're doing. I love even the product that you're endorsing, but we need to polish your message. So what I did was I took the opportunity to throw her some softball pitches to get her to say the things that she should say. For instance, we're in the room and she's just talking about her story, but there's no method to the madness. So it's not driving home to everybody the importance of it. If everyone in your audience knows who you are, what you do, why you do it, it's very simple for them to then relate that to your product. What's important about that, and what makes the product unique? How can it help me? And when I was able to do that, I threw her some softball questions for her to be able to just knock those right out the park. She knocked them out seamlessly. And she was so excited at the end of the room. I noticed that her energy level picked up. she seemed like she was talking herself to death at first, and she was tired. And at the end of the call, at the end of the room, she just had all this energy all of a sudden. So I just pulled her into a separate room. I said, "Hey, can I just talk to you for a second? This is what I want to help you with." So I just asked her. I didn't say I was going to charge her nothing. I just said, "Hey, you need to hit on these main points, and it'll help you be effective." For instance, do you have a call to action that people can take if they make it to your page? She was like, "Well, we probably need to refine that." I was like, "Hey, that's easy." And I was like, "Can you do this? Can you do that?" She said, "Yes." She was just operating in such humility, and she's the boss. She's the Amazon boss woman is on this screen right now. She's the one with everything. But I just learned, hey, if I can help you package it, I can make it more effective. So that's how we met, and that one interaction made her feel like, hey, I really need you as a part of my team, which I'm grateful for.
Clubhouse is really changing lives. I don't want to diverge, but I'm really seeing and witnessing that. I wanted to ask you, Stephen, what is a little bit about your background? What did you do before the
Okay.
pandemic?
So before the pandemic, I was an administrative assistant. The company that I worked for treated me kind of badly, and then they let me go without any notice. Didn't tell me anything on Thanksgiving. I was just like, wait, what? Like, I come into work, I work hard. Why am I going home with nothing? So I decided to really like delve into my background and figure out what could I do if I needed to make some money overnight, so I don't lose all my possessions. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna sell my book. I'm gonna market it myself. I'm gonna develop my social media profile, and I'm gonna branch that out, and I'm gonna see how that goes. But I think I pushed it really hard. I sold the book on Clubhouse, and I gave a free ebook away for everybody that purchased it. Great marketing strategy. Way to go, Stephen. But it didn't do anything. I got a really tiny royalty check, and that was not going to help me keep my possessions. So I just dug deep into like, God, what gifts have you given me? And it was like, oh, I've been managing social media accounts for 4 years. I've been doing marketing and strategy for a few years on the side, but I really put my own business to the back burner instead of focusing on what I need to do instead of building somebody else's business. So I was just like, all right, let me take these skills, let's repackage them, and let's put them out to people. So before all of this stuff happened with the job, I put it on the back burner. But when it was time to be on my butt and homeless or not have enough money to pay my bills, I was like, I got to figure something out. So I just put marketing and brand strategy into a package that people could take in one bite and realize that they needed it.
That is awesome. So tell us, what's the name of your book?
Wow, you are really shooting. You're a straight shooter here. Okay, so my book is called The Middleman. In The Middleman, I talk about what I talk about what I believe to be biblical and practical keys to success for young Black men. In order to keep this from being long-winded, I'm going to say this. Women, and anyone listening that thinks that this is going to be me mansplaining, just know you shouldn't characterize what I do based on my gender.
Okay.
It's a joke, but the sarcasm won't show on my face.
Okay.
But I believe that women are taught, young ladies are taught that education is key. And they're taught that you should be polished as an individual and you should be well educated. If you look at the trend of mothers that encourage that within their daughters that are now 40, let's go ahead and put them at the year 40. They represent that whole entire shift in the dynamic in the family. Black women are the most educated young women in the country, and they're also some of the highest paid women in the country. Some of the top earners in the country are Black women with their 4 degrees. Yassin, I'm going to go ahead and use Yassin as an example. She's one of the most wealthy Black women that I can think of. But Black men were taught you're going to make a living on your legs. We're not taught about education. And the thing that I noticed was I went away to college for 6 years, 5 years, 5 years. And I came back with nothing. I was broken. I was a little bit injured, but I came back with nothing. There were some young ladies that I knew, and I'm gonna give you a brief example. What I noticed they did was while I'm away at college, they're at home working part-time or full-time, while in college full-time, and they're admin assistants. Okay. After 5 years of me being away at college, I come back and they've been promoted to office manager. Okay. So all this experience they have and their degree, they now have a brand new job and they're making $50,000 a year already. Okay. And I come back and I'm like, here's my resume. And they're like, yeah, but you don't have any experience. Next. So I can't even get the job that they started with. Then after flaming out at different jobs and trying to figure out where I kind of belong, I noticed that these young women, when I finally get a hold as an admin assistant, that's what I wound up doing. They are now the regional office manager or something. They've been with the company for 7 years. And I flamed out twice of whatever job I was in because I couldn't figure it out. Well, we're taught, besides the fact that our legs are our money makers, we're also taught that the way to advance is sweat and blood and sweat equity. So over the summer, we're getting our workouts in, we're running on that field, and we're hitting those weights. But when it comes to the working world, it means nothing. So we're confused and we become depressed because we're not going to advance in the working world by lifting weights. There is no time between 8 to 5 or outside of 8 to 5 for you to advance in your job. You can only do it through production at your job. We're confused. We start to shrivel up and become just shells of ourselves. Our mental health immediately goes flatlines immediately. Like we don't know what's going on. We're depressed. I noticed that with the women that are just flourishing, my generation, that I'm 32, my generation, these women are flourishing. They got 4 degrees and they're making $100,000 a year. Our guys, we came back from being athletes and now we're trying to make it in the working world. Some of us aren't making it very well. Some of us aren't making much money. It affects how we date. Okay. It affects how we live, how we eat. If we're not making much money, we're not eating well. So a lot of us that might have looked great back in college, we probably put some weight on. I guess the point that I want to make is God showed me, I believe, these are the ways that you can succeed as a young man. Yes, you might not have all these men that are willing to pour into you. I noticed that men sometimes aren't looking to pour into us that are older. They kind of see us as competition. Like, I worked for this. I was in the military for 20 years. You can't just come in here and get this knowledge that I have for free. Unlike your husband, ma'am, who freely just talks and like he shared so much knowledge with me in a brief amount of time. Like, those are the old-fashioned kind of guys we need. But those aren't the guys that we typically get. So without that type of wisdom and guidance, we typically kind of fall by the wayside and our lives take a different direction than we really wanted to take. I would say in my book, I talk about what God shows me is the practical and biblical keys to success. One of them being character and the other one being integrity. Character is who you are when everybody can see you and when you can't help it. Integrity is who you are when no one can see you, when no one's looking.
Absolutely.
God uses that resume to promote a man. And I make sure that I'm very clear when I'm talking in this book, like, things might not be going well. You might not be the best at this yet. You might not be the best at that, but develop that skill. Know your skill, hone your skill, and always be prepared for an opportunity. Those are the things that we can do as young men in order to be prepared when we're actually given the opportunity to be put on a pedestal, to be promoted. But if we haven't developed those things in the past, if we haven't really taken the time to hone our skill, to work on our character and integrity, God can't place us where he wants to place us. Great job. Congratulations to the women. I'm so happy for them that they've become so successful. Men, our trajectory does not look like that. And we really got to seek God for our plan and purpose in our lives.
Well, you know what? That is amazing. I'm sorry. I know we got to end, but I have someone that I would love for you to meet. And he's all about the men and youth. And I think that there's a place, do not get rid of that book. It's so valuable.
Yeah.
You may be out of your niche or, just promoting it differently, but our men need that. We need that. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Yassin. What were you going to say?
He hit the nail on the head because I am single and I've been single for the past 3 years and dating. I've become a professional dating. That's like another job that I don't get paid for. And the same exact things that he said in his book, it's the same exact things that I'm seeing right now in my dating life, that the men do not know how to date. I am making more than them. They're still working 9-to-5 jobs. If they focus less on in the gym and more on learning to cultivate relationships with women, we could build a stronger community, but it's so hard I mean, most of the men that I have found an interest in, or even a common similarity, their two top focus are football and fitness.
Yeah.
But when does the female come in?
Okay.
And
Wow.
then, yeah.
And Yassin, can I add to that? I don't want to run your time over. Is it okay if I add something in 30 seconds?
Go ahead. Yeah, I know she has to get to her program. So
okay, so I guess the interesting dynamic of what you mentioned, me being a guy here and bringing some masculine energy to the table, I want you to know that I see that, and that is 100% what it is. If we really look at the family structure and how it is today, how it is in 2021, we would see all the deficiencies. If we look at the way God intended things to be, God created the man. He said, I want you to run the earth. Okay, you have control of everything, run the earth. He saw a man and was like, he looks lonely. I need to make a helper for him. I need to make someone that literally is going to be with him at all times and help him to literally run the earth successfully. Made the woman, and the woman is supposed to help him to carry out the purpose that he gave him. The deficiency in the family that you can see now is the woman was built up. The woman has the opportunity to, with financial freedom, to have what she wants to be, who she wants to be, and the man, it's like a strategic attack to make sure that the family structure is never stable. And if the man is lagging in all those areas, then you'll never get a man that actually would be ideal for you. So the money and everything, it shows where all the values are. It shows all the deficiencies.
yes. Oh, this is amazing. This conversation could just take on to a whole new level and somewhere else. Yassin, we thank you so much for that book. Next time, Stephen, have that book with you. And we are going to say goodbye for now. And
Steve wants to get the book.
I actually have the book on me.
Yes, there you go. Absolutely. Absolutely. Keep that book close by.
Stephen, we see. Put up the book again. Okay, got it.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
That is amazing. I want you to keep that book. And there are programs that are in such need of that book.
That should be like the man book dating 101 book, because which time is hard on him.
Absolutely. I mean, if we had a program, and I'm going to, anyway, let me just say this. Thank you guys for being a part of the Comfort Legacies with Faye Michelle. And I would love to have you back again, and we can talk further and maybe on a different note of, and we can extend this program more, because there are the Juneteenth that's coming, and we would love to have some insight on that. And on these conversations, topics around these conversations, it could really, really, really benefit the youth and others, the dating world, the single world, so many places for those things. Okay. But is there any parting words that you'd like to say? Either one first.
I would like to say, if anyone is interested in purchasing the book, they can go to journeyuntold.com. And if they want to do, with women, if you want to build up your self-love, go to beyondthelovecurse.com. And if you're interested in working your way towards financial freedom, then visit bossclassllc.com.
Covered it all.
Excellent. And again, my name is Steven Swinson. You can find me on Instagram. I'd love to connect with anyone that's interested in connecting. My name is Steven with a PH.Swinson on Instagram. I'd love to connect with anyone. Love to have any conversation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. And this is Faye Michelle with Comfort Legacies, and we will see you next time.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Okay.